you very much. I appreciate your organizing this time for us to come to the floor and to speak about our friend Donald Payne. We're all so sad, and we're going to miss him. But we also know that the service that he gave to this country, even long before he came to the Congress of the United States, and the service that he has given to this country since being a member of Congress, is unmatched by any member of Congress. Donald Payne was a true servant who not only served his state of New Jersey, but Donald Payne was someone who took care of his district. When I take a look at all of the capacities that he served in the state of New Jersey, I am just in awe. County Democratic Chairman, Executive of the Prudential Insurance Company, Vice President of Urban Data Systems, an educator in the New York and Passaic Public School Districts, a former National President of the YMCA, Chairman of the World Refugee and Rehabilitation Committee. It goes on and on and on. And he brought with him to Congress the same attitude, the same commitment to service. And since his service in Congress, of course, he left us as chair of the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation. He served as the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus immediately prior to my being elected to the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, and I learned a lot from his service about how to chair the Congressional Black Caucus. Don Payne was known for several things, but certainly known and respected for his commitment to education, closing the achievement gap, making sure that we expand opportunities for the least of these with Pell Grants, making sure that he reduced the interest rates on some of the loans, the Stanford loans, for example. He was known because he understood that as a public policy maker, he could influence education in this country, and he certainly did that. But I also would like to point to his record of achievement serving as the chair of the Africa Subcommittee of the Foreign Affairs Committee, where he was the expert unmatched. As a matter of fact, Donald Payne traveled to Africa, East Africa, West Africa, throughout his career, and he knew all of these countries on the continent, and he knew the leaders past and present. As a matter of fact, Don didn't wait for a codel of a lot of people to be organized to go to a troubled spot. Don would get on the airplane by himself, a one-person codel, and travel, set up his own meetings with the leaders of those countries, talk with them about what was taking place in those countries, and get such an understanding of what needed to be done. And he coupled all of this with the history of the countries of Africa. Don was an educator. He was a teacher. He was a historian. And so he knew a lot about the backgrounds of these countries because he had studied that. And so when he coupled that information with what was going on at the present time that he was visiting and working on issues in those countries, he made it all come together, and he helped us all to understand. He was our go-to person on Africa for sure. When we wanted to know what was going on, and some people who were not that involved in foreign affairs and in Africa, they just followed his vote. When they looked upon that panel, they looked at how Don Payne was voting, and then they followed his leadership. And so we're going to miss that leadership. We're going to miss this dedication. We're going to miss this mild-mannered man who loved his job, who loved his district. And I'm always going to remember that he invited me to his district on several occasions. I went up with Don. I campaigned with him. I went about the community. He introduced me to the ministers, and he was well respected and loved in his district. And of course, we all know why. Because he was dedicated to the district, and he did so much for the district. And of course, the district is going to miss Don Payne. It will be hard to match the work that he did, and his success and his achievements, and we're going to remember each time we're involved in some of the same issues that Don was involved in, we're going to ask ourselves, what would Don have done? And we're going to follow the thinking of Don Payne on those issues. I yield back the balance of my time.